Today's tough topic in 2 minutes is another application of conservation of momentum and impulse, and I call it closing the door. So here's the scenario, and I've tried my best to get a door in the picture here so you get the whole effect, right? So let's suppose you got two choices. You can either throw a ball of some squishy, soft material. I always like to tell my students like a ball of Play-Doh, right? Or you can throw a super bouncy ball. It's the same mass, right, at the door if you want to shut the door from some distance away. So you're feeling lazy, you're sitting in your chair, and you want to shut the door. Maybe you don't want your parents to come in. I'm not sure, But in any case, you got two options because you don't want to get out of your chair, right? You can throw the squishy ball of Play-Doh, or you can throw the super bouncy ball at the door, and your aim is just as good with both. Everything's the same, masses are the same, speeds are the same. But that bouncy ball, when it hits the door and comes off of it, it's going to rebound backwards. Maybe not quite the same speed it was going to begin with, but pretty close. And the squishy thing is just going to hit it and kind of stick to it, right? So the question is, which is going to be better at shutting the door? So what do you think, right? So this is what I always ask my students, and I'm asking you. So let's talk about what's going to happen here. Right? If the object hits the door, right, it's going to have a certain amount of momentum coming in and hitting the door. Both things will have the same momentum if you throw them the same speed and are the same size, right? So the momentum that's imparted to the door, right, from the collision, the impact, right, if it just hits and sticks to it, is actually less than what happens if you hit it and it bounces off of it. Now let's think about why here just for a second, right? The hit and stop thing, all the momentum that the ball had all gets delivered to the door, and then the thing stops, right? But in the bouncy case, what happens is the bouncy thing actually hits it and comes back backwards. So the door actually ends up with a little bit more momentum, or in some cases a lot more momentum than it would have in the first place, because the rebounding momentum is opposite in direction to the way it came in. Now this is a little tricky, right, for sure, because this has to do with the vector nature of momentum as well. So momentum going in one way and then coming back the other way means a greater change in momentum, and that greater change in momentum means a greater impulse and a greater change in momentum delivered to the door. So the answer to the question then is, if you have a choice, right, and everything else being equal, the bouncy thing, it hits and bounces off, is going to deliver more momentum to the door, and it'll shut the door better than the thing that hits and sticks to the door. All right.